Hey, this is Brandon Brittingham from the Maryland and Delaware Group of Long and Foster, and want to talk to you guys about the April real estate report for Wicomico County. So, one of the things that we're getting asked a lot from people is now a time, number one, to buy a house, and number two, to sell a house with everything that's going on. So, first and foremost, let me talk about the sales side, meaning you want to sell your house, you want to list your house. So in April of this year, we had 93 new listings come on, 107 went pending, 77 sold. Compare that to last year, 149 listings, 105 sold, 119 went pending. So there's some telling things in those numbers. So what I want to talk about first of all is how many new listings came on. So 149 listings last year this time. For the month of April, and 93 this year. So what does that even mean, or why is that a big deal? The reason why that's a big deal is because obviously with what's going on, less people have listed their house for sale. But we've not seen demand go down. So you had, as I mentioned, 107 houses go pending in April, but only 93 were listed, new listings. So what that tells us is the demand for the buyer out there is still really, really strong. And we had what's called an inventory issue prior to COVID. And what that means is that there are more buyers out there than there are houses for sale. And what's happened is this has just actually compounded that. So what we're seeing is if a house is priced accordingly, in certain price range, in a majority of price ranges in Wicomico County, you put it on the market and it's getting contracts 24, 48 hours, multiple offers. So if you're thinking about selling, the demand is strong, but your competition is, even less than it was prior to COVID-19 because rightfully so, a lot of people don't want to list their house right now. But you potentially could be missing out if you're thinking about selling on the huge demand of buyers and not a ton of competition. So last year, the numbers at this time were a little bit higher, but you have to understand that you also had a lot more listings. So it wasn't kind of taking care of existing inventory. So we're seeing a huge demand from buyers in our market right now. The other thing too is, just kind of how's everything working, how are contracts and just the process being facilitated. So with us specifically, and a lot of companies have taken this, we understand health concerns and the protection of your family first and foremost. So what's really important is if you're thinking about listing your house, but you're worried about traffic coming in and out, most companies, ours included, has adapted an entire virtual marketing platform. So we've actually sold some houses, soup to nuts, virtually, where the buyer never came into the house, almost to the point of settlement to limit the amount of traffic you have people coming in and out. So even with these constraints, we're still seeing a substantial amount of demand because here's the thing, people buy houses based on need. School system, wife's pregnant, we need more space, I want to be closer to my job. I want to upgrade to the new construction house, whatever the case is. So, although the amount of houses sold this month versus this month last year are less, it still was a substantial amount of houses that went under contract and went sold, but you also didn't have a ton of new inventory coming on that created more competition. So right now, what we're seeing is just an unreal amount of demand from buyers, and they just don't have enough houses out there for them to buy. So we're also seeing a huge spike in demand for new construction because, if they can't find the house that they want, and a lot of people don't know that the option of new construction that's out there that it doesn't necessarily, a lot of people think they can't afford new construction, but in Wicomico County, we have all kinds of different price ranges when it comes to new construction. So a lot of times you can get in a new construction and you don't know it. So again, demand from the buyer is huge. As a seller, one of the things that you have going for you right now, and obviously your own personal needs and your concerns with safety and everything, completely understand if you don't want to list your house in this market. Everybody understands that. But you have a huge demand from buyers, and you have limited houses for them to pick from. So you put your house on the market, we're seeing it sell really, really quick with multiple offers. And we're seeing prices not decline. In the last 2 months, we've not seen a pullback in values. In fact, we've seen multiple listings go over list price because of demand. The other thing that's created demand is, interest rates have been all over the place, but, the last couple of weeks, rates have been, extremely low, to the point last week they went down to 50-year lows. So we've seen buyers get loans under 3%. That's just almost unheard of and unreal. So someone, and especially here in Wicomico County, someone that's out looking to purchase something can buy a house, a lot of cases, for less than they're paying in rent. So that's also created, a huge amount of demand. So if you're a buyer and you're looking, and if you're wondering if now is a good time to buy, kind of with that same point, one of the great things about what's going on right now is interest rates are so low. So the cost for you to borrow money is at a 50-year low, and, it makes housing way more affordable for you. So it is a little bit more of a challenge because of competition to buy a house right now is pretty high. But there's still really good houses out there to buy. And you couple that with lower interest rates, and, you can get a really nice house for probably a lot less than you think, and in a lot of cases, less than you're paying in rent. As we already mentioned as well, a lot of buyers now are finding, because rates are so low, that they can get into a brand new house for the payment that they really can afford. So in the last couple of weeks, we've seen buyers get into new construction houses for $1,100, $1,200, $1,300 payments and get a brand new house, granite, the whole nine. So, you might hear things on the news media as far as the real estate market is concerned, but a lot of times they're referencing national real estate trends and reporting. And what everyone has to realize is real estate is really local. What happens in your local market is not national. So although real estate may have been affected nationally in a lot of different markets because of what's going on, here in Wicomico County, we're kind of seeing the same thing that we were seeing prior to COVID, which is it's a great time to buy because of interest rates. If you're a seller, there's huge demand for people that want to purchase your property, and people are still buying and selling based on their need. So, again, things have changed logistically about how it's all facilitated because of safety concerns and social distancing. But bottom line, if you're a seller, great time to sell. If you're a buyer, great time to buy. And we see the demand continuing through the rest of the year. Obviously, I don't have a crystal ball. That could change as all of this changed so fast. But here locally, we're seeing huge demand from both buyers and great time to sell for sellers. And, if you're thinking about selling and you have some concerns, just reach out, and we can help you, have the conversation of, how we do our safety protocols, potentially what your house is worth, no obligation, no risk. And then if you're a buyer and you just really don't understand how credit works, what you can qualify for, what you don't qualify for, that's another thing. We'd be more than glad just to take the time and help walk you through that. And again, just to help you get prepared, because again, rates being as low as they are, 50-year lows, it's a great time to get a mortgage. So any questions in reference to buying or selling a house, reach out to us anytime. Again, no obligation. We're just here to help our community through this time and help everybody figure it out.